the story of the discovery of America. Welcome back to Now and Next, your ultimate destination for captivating historical and recent adventures. Today, we embark on an extensive journey into one of history's most significant events, the discovery of America. But this isn't just about Columbus. We'll explore the stories of the indigenous peoples, the Vikings, the motivations behind exploration, and the lasting impact this discovery had on the world. So, grab a comfy seat, hit that subscribe button, and let's navigate this intricate tapestry of history together. Pre-Columbian America. Before we dive into the European arrival, let's first paint a picture of America before Columbus. Native Americans had been living on the continent for thousands of years, with diverse cultures, languages, and societies. The complexity of these societies challenges the Eurocentric narrative that often overlooks the richness of indigenous history. For example, the moment Columbus set sail, there were already thriving civilizations in the Americas with intricate social structures, artistic expression, and spiritual beliefs. From the complex civilizations of the Aztecs and Maya in Mesoamerica to the Mississippian cultures in North America, indigenous societies thrived. They built monumental cities, developed agriculture, and structured sophisticated trade networks. The Maya created advanced astronomical systems and written language, while the Aztecs built bustling, urban centers with temples and marketplaces. Diverse cultural practices existed across tribal nations, and they maintained a profound connection to their lands, which profoundly influenced their ways of life. Significantly, the intersection of these cultures created regional dynamics. Trade among tribes exchanged not just goods, but also ideas, technologies, and even marital alliances. The sharing of agricultural practices allowed crops like maize and beans to spread, favoring the health and stability of communities. This pre-Columbian world was rich, dynamic, and set the stage for the enormous changes that would soon follow with the arrival of Europeans. Early European exploration. The motivation for exploration in the late 15th century was fueled by a mix of religious fervor, the pursuit of wealth, and national glory. The spice trade in Asia was incredibly lucrative, and Europeans sought direct routes to these valuable resources, bypassing middlemen. The rise of powerful nation-states spurred monarchs to commission voyages that could expand their economic and territorial influence. Maps were redrawn, revealing an unknown world just waiting to be explored. As we move into the late 15th century, the Renaissance had sparked a newfound curiosity about the world. Advances in navigation, as well as innovations like the magnetic compass and more accurate nautical maps, allowed explorers to undertake voyages with greater confidence. This spirit of exploration was not just about discovery, it was also about reasserting the power of European nations through newfound territories. The stories of heroic explorers, full of adventure and glory, captivated the imaginations of many back home, leading to greater public support for future expeditions. Let's talk about the key player, Christopher Columbus. Born in 1451 in Genoa, Columbus was not only a sailor but also a dreamer, aspiring to find a new route to Asia. His proposal to sail west was deemed unconventional, yet after much persistence, he gained the favor of Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain. His voyage in 1492 would change history, setting off a chain reaction of exploration and colonization that would reshape the entire globe. The encounters and consequences. The moment Columbus landed marked the beginning of an era filled with encounters between Europeans and Native Americans. Initial interactions often consisted of trade and curiosity, yet underlying tensions reflected a deeper cultural divide. The Taino people, whom Columbus first encountered, were hospitable and exchanged gifts with him, leading Columbus to believe they would be easy to convert and subjugate. However, this initial warmth masked the profound misunderstandings that would come into play as European imperial ambitions unfolded. In Columbus's journal entries, we see a conflicted view, fascination with the Taino culture intertwined with an explicit desire to exploit their resources. While Columbus initially praised the Taino for their generosity and peacefulness, he also referred to them in terms suggesting they should be subjugated. This duality highlights an important aspect of European exploration, the tendency to dehumanize indigenous peoples to justify their conquest. The conception of the noble savage was often used to rationalize both admiration and exploitation. As the subsequent waves of explorers and settlers arrived, the consequences of this discovery deepened. Interactions increasingly involved the imposition of European governance, the extraction of resources, and the introduction of new societal structures. The reverberations of this moment, marked by initial curiosity blended with exploitation, would echo through time, leading to significant shifts that would alter the continent forever. Life during colonization. As colonial powers established their foothold in the Americas, life changed drastically for both Europeans and Native Americans. The landscapes of North America were relentlessly altered as European settlers sought to replicate their homelands, introducing new farming techniques, livestock, and crops. Colonies developed and quickly established a framework for exploitative economic practices, often relying on indigenous labor or enslaved Africans to cultivate cash crops like tobacco and sugar. Among settlers, life was often harsh and unforgiving. While they sought prosperity, many faced extreme conditions, harsh winters, food shortages, and conflicts with Native Americans who resisted encroachment on their lands. The early years, particularly in places like Jamestown and Plymouth, were riddled with hardship, leading to high mortality rates. However, these challenges also bred resilience, forcing settlers to adapt indigenous agricultural methods and fostering some degree of cooperation. The establishment of settlements also led to cultural exchange and conflict. While many settlers assimilated beneficial aspects of Native American life, such as farming techniques and hunting strategies, conflicts arose due to misunderstandings and differing worldviews on land ownership and usage. The evolving society reflected a tapestry of interaction, conflict, collaboration, adaptation, ultimately leading to a new cultural identity that was distinctly American in nature yet deeply rooted in both European and indigenous heritages. Resistance and resilience. Despite the overwhelming challenges posed by colonization, indigenous peoples were not passive victims. Resistance was an intrinsic part of their response to European expansion. Various tribes organized against colonial encroachments, employing both military tactics and strategically formed alliances. The complexities of resistance varied by region as tribes united for common causes or engaged in more individualized strategies to safeguard their homelands. One of the notable uprisings was the Pueblo Revolt in 1680 when Pueblo leaders in New Mexico united to drive Spanish colonizers out for 12 years. This marked one of the most successful indigenous resistance movements in North American history, showcasing their determination and strength in the face of oppression. Their ability to coordinate efforts across multiple groups highlights the strategic thinking and resilience of Native peoples who sought not only to regain control of their lands but also to preserve their cultures against forced assimilation. Ultimately, resistance took many forms, from warfare to preservation of culture. Stories of resilience emerged, as many tribes adapted to changing circumstances while striving to maintain their identities. Indigenous voices and histories persist, reminding us that while colonization attempted to erase their existence, the spirit of these communities continues to thrive and adapt, showcasing a rich cultural landscape that still resonates today. Legacy and contemporary issues. As we near the conclusion of our journey, it's crucial to reflect on the legacy of the discovery of America and how it shapes our contemporary world. The events that unfolded after Columbus's voyages laid the groundwork for modern America, and with that comes a shared history that necessitates understanding from all perspectives. Many indigenous cultures are resilient, preserving their heritage, languages, and histories despite challenges that continue today. As they navigate contemporary issues like land rights, representation, and self-determination, there are movements rising to address past wrongs and claim rights to ancestral lands that highlight the ongoing struggle for acknowledgement and reparations. The narrative surrounding the discovery of America invites us to redefine what it means. This includes recognizing that history is multidimensional, encompassing a diversity of voices and experiences that have long been silenced. By acknowledging the complexities and injustices of colonization, we can begin to forge a path of understanding and respect for all cultures, nurturing a future where history doesn't repeat its past mistakes. Thank you for joining us on this lengthy yet crucial exploration of the discovery of America. Remember, history is more than dates and names. It's a story of people, culture, and resilience. What's your take on America's discovery? How can we honor the various narratives? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into history. Until next time, stay curious and inspired.